Here is a couple of photographs taken in the same session, one of which is correct, while the other has a green cast. I've deliberately sabotaged the second in order to see if there's an easy way to recover it. The green cast is generated by this curve. Let's pretend, though, that someone got it wrong and that this is what we received. I'll call the first photo reference and the second one target. How are we supposed to match the target to the reference? MindTheColor offers a feature called CurveM, which can be very useful for this purpose. The idea is simple. Let's pick 3 points, namely highlights, midtones and shadows, in 2 pictures which are similar and yet different. We're going to use one of the pictures as a color reference and the other as the one we want to match to such reference. Obviously, we need to choose the 3 points sensibly, and it's worth remembering that the lightness of each should be similar in both pictures. In other words, if we try to match a highlight to a midtone, a good result is unlikely. My suggestion is that you choose the 3 points carefully before you start and put a color sampler in each point. By doing so, you may evaluate the lightness in advance, and you'll be able to click quickly in the right place when you work. Altogether, you'll have 6 points, 3 per picture. Also, keep the info panel visible. You can see it in the upper right corner. It is always a valuable source of information. The relevant value for you is the L coordinate of LAB, that is, lightness. In the case you're not acquainted with the info panel, and you should be, you may set the readout to LAB by choosing the color model from this menu, which you can access by clicking on the tiny triangle just under the eyedropper. Let's start picking the 3 relevant points you've chosen in the target. First, make your target window active. Click on the H1 button to sample the highlights. The color picker opens and you should pick a very light point in the skin. Then the M1 button to sample the midtones. In this case, our best bet is the hair, and its lightness should be somewhere near the value of 50, which would correspond to a nominally perfect midtone. Finally, move on to S1 to sample the shadows, which should have a very low lightness, say a few units. After this move, the first 3 squares contain the colors you have picked from the target image. Now, make the reference image active and repeat the sequence. H2 will be used to sample a compatible highlight, M2 for midtones, and S2 for shadows. This is all you need to do for now. Now, back to the target, because we're going to apply the matching curve generated by MindTheColor to it. Once it's active, simply click on the Match button and hey presto! Well, as a starting point, it is a fantastic result. The colors may not match perfectly because they strongly depend on the chosen points, but the plugin allows you to fine-tune either the highlight, the midtones or the shadows in order to reach an optimal result. Or, if you like, you may use any other tool available in either MindTheColor or native Photoshop to perfectly align the 2 images. The idea is that the closer you are, the easier it gets. In the event that the result should not be perfect, you may use the 3 HSB cursors available in each lightness area to fine-tune the image. This allows you to change hue, saturation and brightness individually in the 3 areas of highlights, midtones and shadows. Also, remember that you have blend modes if needed. It is worth trying to change the blend mode of the correction layer to either color or hue. With color, you'll retain hue and saturation of the correction and use the brightness from the original image. With hue, you'll only retain hue and use the saturation and brightness from the original image. The difference may be pronounced or not, but if your match is not already perfect, this is worth a try. In the next example, we'll put the MindTheColor panel to work on a color grading operation.